Okay, everybody. Hello. I am so excited about this call. And we're going to go ahead and get right to it. We are going to be talking about the new incentive that is launching August the 1st. We do not have the qualifications yet, but I can tell you guys, and if you've earned incentives before, it's generally based around the same three things. Okay, so we're going to actually prep you guys, get y'all ready for everything that you can expect. And both Lee and Sam beside me have earned incentives as well. And so if there is a question that I don't know how to answer, they can answer it because there's not just one way to earn it. There's different ways you can do it, but there's certain things you absolutely must do to earn it. Okay. And with this being an incentive that is 5-tiered, we don't know the points yet. We don't know what that's going to look like. And so we're hoping that with these foundations we're going to give you tonight, it can get you ready and ignited to do the action steps that you need to do without overthinking it. Me and Lee were talking about that earlier, without overthinking it so much and doing the things that are going to make you successful. Okay. Because that's what it's all about, is you taking the tools that we're going to give you and placing an action towards it. And so I know a lot of y'all were at SFR. I hope that ignited you guys. I know that was great for me. I needed it. I'm sure y'all did too.
Yes.
And so we're going to get right into it. All right. So there is going to be 5 other speakers besides me. So I'm going to go pretty quick on what I'm going to talk about. And if you're new here, my name is Chloe, and I am the SSD for Anchored Scents. So we're going to get right into earning an incentive. Who, comment in the chat for me if you have earned an incentive before? Who has earned an incentive before in Scentsy ever? Comment for me so I can see what we're working with. Where's the chat at? There we go. Okay, got it. Yes, so a lot of you guys have earned. And I want the people that are on here that have not earned to be able to see everybody in the chat, because I want you guys to see that anybody can earn this. So unlike other companies where you have to be at the top 1% or you have to be at a certain level, you can start Scentsy and be a reinstatement, and you can come in and earn a top 50 trip. Okay, so I want to first say that to get you excited and to get you understanding that Scentsy wants everybody to be able to earn these trips. So when you do see those points go up, my hope, and I kind of like that we don't have the points yet, because right now you're going to be learning tasks and things you need to do to get you ready. So when you see those points, it won't be so scary. Okay. And so starting with the levels. Okay. So there's 5 different levels that you can earn. Level 1 is going to be registration for SFR, which is huge. I know so many of you guys earned SFR for this past incentive, or you took SFR and y'all just loved it. And so that is a huge earn. And then I know last year we also had the luggage, which was a huge earn as well. So this year it's going to be registration for SFR for level 1. Level 2 is going to be a trip for 1 without a flight. Level 3 is a trip for 1 with a flight. Okay, so that's what a lot of you guys, I'm sure, are going to be looking at. Level 4 is a trip for 1 with flight and a guest, but their flight's not included. Ooh, I like that. That's nice. I didn't know that. And then level 5 is going to be a trip for 2 with both flights included. Okay, so 5 levels. We've never done 5 levels before. And so I think this is exciting because this is actually going to, I'm hoping it breaks the points up a little bit. So as you reach a new level, you can be more motivated and more encouraged. So those are the 5 levels. Keep an eye on your workstation in your trip tab. You're going to have it come up under incentives. And by August 1st, we should be able to see the breakdown, or by tomorrow. So there's 5 levels, but here's how you're going to earn the incentive. And again, I'm going to go really quick because we're going to have our awesome speakers come up and share some more details, but there's 3 ways. Okay. High sales, high sponsoring, and then leading those team members that you do sponsor to promote to certified and beyond. I always say this, and I was just telling Lee this before Sam got here. Scentsy creates these incentive trips, not only so you can earn a trip. The trip is amazing. We love the trip. We love SFR. We love the things. But the reason I believe and want to instill in you guys to understand, the reason they do these incentives is to build you as a leader. So I want you going into this going, I'm going to grow new lead consultants. I'm not just going to earn a trip. I'm going to develop leaders. And so my dad's actually going to close out the call tonight and share a couple tips about what a really great team looks like, because he did that for, I don't even know, 30 years. He led teams, but that's key too, because a lot of us are looking at what can I get out of it, but you have to kind of change the way you look at these incentives. Yes, you want to earn the trip, all those things, but what's going to happen after the trip? And many people that I've coached before or prior, I'll say this to you guys, like, what is it going to look like though in January? How many leads do you want to build? Because as you grow your business and as you do all this hard work to sponsor these people and find these people and do all the things, if you don't stop and develop those people and you don't have a way that you're doing that, they're going to just fall off and you're going to find yourself in a wheel, right? And so I want you guys really thinking about that as you're hearing these people talk about how they're recruiting and selling and their mindset. You have to go into this thinking, okay, at the last part, it's sales, it's sponsoring, and it's building your leaders on your team, helping them to certified and lead. And so I'm going to go into that in a second, but sales, this is so important. I want you guys to write down this question. I have two questions. The first question I want you to write down is, how are you meeting people? How are you meeting people? How are you meeting people? And in the chat, if y'all have different ways you're meeting people, share them so people can get ideas. If you have anything creative, feel free to share it. But that's the first question I want you to write down. This is very important. Parties, who would have thought? Wow, parties, no way. You mean I can't build a business on Facebook? So the second question I want y'all to write down, the second is, how are you getting those people to introduce you to their people? How are you getting those people to introduce you to their people? How are you getting those people to introduce you to their people? And the reason I put these two questions is because I wholeheartedly believe, I've been doing this a long time, if you can figure out and you can identify how you're constantly meeting new people and how you're getting those people to introduce you to their people, your business will thrive, right? And so to tie both of those together for sales, I want you to think about, how are you replenishing those first two questions? How are you meeting people? What action steps are you doing right now to meet people, new people, not people that you already know? How are you meeting people? And I also want to take it a step further to say, how are you connecting with people outside of social media? If Facebook went away tomorrow, literally tomorrow, how are your relationships with these people buying from you? How are they? What are they? Are they real? Could you bring them Starbucks? Could you meet them and drop off the scents at their local? What is your relationship like with these people? So how are you meeting people and how are you getting those people to introduce you to their people? That's going to solve a lot of your sales problems. You saw a lot of people comment on how they're meeting people. I hope that gave you some ideas. Parties are top tier for me. I talk a lot about parties, but the party is not dead. And the way that you guys are going to be able to build real connections, meet people, I'm a face-to-face recruiter. And so it's easier for me to recruit whenever I'm at a party or when I'm dropping off an order or when I'm giving someone a bag party or getting a pre-order for fall. It's easier for me to go ahead and have that conversation. So PRV is normally unlimited. I'm almost done, I promise. PRV is normally unlimited with the incentive. So as you guys are setting those sales goals, I want you thinking there is no cap on this. Now you're going to hear other people train differently. And I think that's great to start low and all those things, but you're not going to earn an incentive by starting low this fall. It will not happen. You're not going to earn an incentive by going, I'm going to hit 500 PRV and recruit one person. You will not. I can tell you this full-heartedly. So I want you guys going in. This is why I love that we don't have the points yet, because I feel like if we saw 60,000 points for level 3, right, it could be scary. But if you're going into it going, okay, I'm going to beat my PRV every single month this fall. So in August, your PRV goal, say it's 2,000. If you want to earn a trip, by the way, in my opinion, your PRV needs to be at least 2,000 every month. It's unlimited. That's in your control. Sales is in y'all's control. How are you meeting new people? How are those people getting you to meet their people? Okay. Keep thinking about that. So as far as PRV, go all out. Any way you can sell is how you need to sell. Social media, parties, carrying around grab bags everywhere, passing out samples. I was just telling Lee and Sam, one thing I'm going to start doing tomorrow is I'm going to bring back the basket that goes right at the front door, and it's going to have 30 sample packets in it every month, and they will be gone by the end of the month. And so that means I'm having 30 conversations with randoms or at places I'm already going, to be honest, and I'm talking to 30 new people, and I'm going to get their number. So another thing that you can focus on for sales is going after annual sales. Okay. Sam beside me has earned annual sales numerous times. You're not going to earn it by accident. You're going to earn annual sales by being intentional and setting your goal for high PRV. Going after annual sales during the fall incentive is going to help you earn the incentive. The next thing is get organized. So how are you tracking your days, your weeks, your months? What are you doing to track your accountability for how many parties you're going to have? For how many customers you want to grow. And so having a way that you're tracking this is important, and getting organized is going to be important. Also parties. If you're not partying, I want to know how you're meeting new people. By meeting, I mean meeting face to face, or you're getting to know them. I don't mean random orders. So the thing with parties, I don't know why it's a thing, but we got to stop making it a thing that people don't do parties, because it's not true. People want to get together. So I want to really encourage you guys. I know the other girls are going to be talking about parties and things like that. Even if you're getting good sales, if you're not recruiting well off social media, which you have to also recruit heavy, you can't just sell heavy to earn an incentive. I want to ask how you're meeting new people. Parties are going to get you meeting new people. They're going to get you showing them that this is fun. It's going to give them the full experience. They're going to smell it. They're going to see it. They're going to see how engaged everybody is. It gives that whole entire vibe. And so whether it's bag parties or home parties, I want to encourage you guys to get out of your comfort zone and book those this fall, because I think that once you guys start doing that and seeing that this is an experience business, not a transactional consumer online business, you're going to see that you're going to recruit more and you're going to have a better business. Exceptional follow-up, guys. You need to have the best follow-up that anybody's ever seen. This is going to set you apart. This is how you're going to retain customers. This is how they're going to refer you. You're going to gather new customers. Use the Scentsy app. I have nothing else to give on that, except y'all need to use it. It's free. So, and then the last thing on sales is you need to be the best. So meaning that when your customers see you, do they know and do they think about, I need to refer my friends to her and I need to reorder? That's what you want them thinking. So make samples, have a VIP program, treat them like gold. I know all three of us here right now, we've already scheduled a last chance first glance in August. If you've not scheduled that, 10 out of 10 want to recommend that you do that, because that's going to get you in front of people, and that's going to get you, seeing how excited too they are about the new products. So you can have the summer stuff, you can have the new fall stuff. If you decide to get some of the kits that are coming out in a few days, you can have some of those out. If you don't get some of the kits, it doesn't matter. The biggest part about having a home party is it's going to kind of catapult your fall, and make sure you get fall bookings. Okay. And then for sponsoring you guys, I want you guys really thinking about we versus me. Something that's been on my heart the past few years that I've noticed heavily is a lot of leaders are really focused on getting paid at title, but we're not focusing on blessing the people in the first place. We're really focused on earning a trip, but we're not focusing on how can I change this person's life. What do I know about this customer where I can connect with them so Scentsy can fit? And so I want you guys to really be thinking about when you're sponsoring this fall, you know, you're not sponsoring just to earn an incentive. And I hope to God that's not your mentality. Yes, that's the end result. Yes, you're going to track it, but there has to be more than that. Because again, what's the outcome of this? The outcome of an incentive should be to build you as a leader, and for you to become a leader, you have to lead people, right? And so I want you guys thinking about, why did you join? What did that first paycheck you got? How did that make you feel? I want you thinking about, these paychecks, what they could do for your best customers, what they could do for your friends, what they could do for your fellow coworkers. And I want you to think like, how can you serve that customer really well by helping Scentsy fit? Okay. So it's not, I want to promote, I want to get paid at title. It's how can I help you? How can Scentsy bless your life? And that's what I really want you guys thinking about as you're sponsoring this fall, because it's not about you getting paid at title, and it's not just about you earning a trip. It's these people are coming and they're joining under you for a reason, and you want to serve them really, really well. Okay. And then promotions, that's going to be the natural progression of you leading well and you training them to get to certified and helping them get to lead and being brave and calling those qualities out of your team, because we should never assume somebody doesn't want to be a lead, right? Or doesn't want to do whatever. The one-on-one conversations are going to help with that. And I really want you guys focusing. This is something new that I want to challenge y'all to this fall, is every single person that joins your team, I want you to instill so much confidence into them that they can't just hit lead certified, but they can hit lead. I want you having lead as the end result of every person. Are they all going to hit lead? Absolutely not. But I think a lot more are going to hit lead, which is going to help you guys in the long run after this incentive actually build leaders and build something so you're not so burnt out, but you're going to have to give up that time. You're going to have to be more selfless. You're going to have to stop worrying about that you don't feel good and you don't want to do a coaching call, because again, it's not about you because you're the leader and they're going to follow you. So keep that in mind with sponsoring. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually pull up Coco because I see her first. And she is going to talk about recruiting. Are you muted? You're muted still? Hang on, I can unmute you from right here. Oh, there we go.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. I am super excited to talk to you guys tonight about recruiting. Now, if I would say first step, if you haven't watched my training from SFR, I really want to encourage you to watch it. It's literally 9 minutes, and then I want you to go and I want you to party like a rock star, because exactly what Chloe was saying, you're going to fill your cup with so many amazing people and connections to talk to, and partying will solve that issue of who do I ask, who do I talk to, because not only are we going to have that hostess that we're going to ask to join, we now have all of her friends and family that we can later follow up with on their orders and talk to them about partying or joining. So party like a freaking rock star. And I want to start off with something like super cheesy because, like, why not? But I looked at this catalog, the Fog, and I literally looked at it and I was like, you are going to change my life these next 6 months. Maybe as your bread and butter for everything that you do this fall. And again, I know it sounds so cheesy, but just looking at it, like, I know this catalog is going to change my life this season. And that is where my mindset is. I want to start off by saying, and I know I touched on this a little bit at the SFR training, but that there is a little bit of strategy when it goes into earning the incentive, especially when it comes to the sponsoring portion. Okay. And I want you guys to sponsor heavy and right out of the gate, day one. I want you to start having joint ASAP. Have them tonight. have them ready to go by August 1st. I literally, before I got on here, talked to someone who wants to join, and I'm setting up her launch party tomorrow. Go ahead and start sponsoring out the gate, because that's going to give you the longest amount of time to coach them and to get them to certified and then to lead. Now, how do we get them to certified once they joined? Okay. First, we need to ask them, what do they want? What do they want out of this business? What are their goals? What is life-changing income for them? Are they just here for the discount? Are they just here for a hobby? Because that's going to help better prepare you on your expectations. Because sometimes people just join for the discount, and we kind of have to love them through that. They can still be their best and biggest customers and get to certified in 6 months if you sponsor out the gate, like I just talked about. But we don't want to push them. We don't want to force anything on them. But if they are joining just for the discount or just for a hobby, I want to encourage you to ask them if they want something more. Because a lot of times they're scared to say, oh, actually, you know what, a couple extra $100 would benefit me, but I'm not really a salesperson and I really don't know how to get started. So help them, coach them, go through what they're scared of and help them through that. Because you might find your next director from someone who didn't want to sell. I know a lot of our SSDs joined just for the discount. At some point, they had a moment where they're like, oh my gosh, I want more. So help them through that and coach them through that. Then we're going to do their launch party. Okay. This is very important. If you are not helping your new teamie with their launch party, I want to encourage you to set up a Facebook party for them if they are not local. If they're local, go to their house, or do both. Do both. The lady that I am going to help her join, we're doing Facebook because she's really huge on Facebook, she says. And then I also encouraged her to do something in person with testers and a back party that we're going to drop off to her. Give them many goals. It can be super overwhelming for someone to act or to tell them, we need you to sell $1,000. Well, first off, that may not be their goal, and we don't want to scare them off. So let's give them mini goals. All right, so I'm going to help you do your launch party. Your first goal is going to be to get active. Explain to them what active is and help get them there. So not only are you using their launch party as a training tool, but you're also teaching them consultant verbiage and the importance of getting active at the same time. Then we want shooting star. So then we're going to tell them what their next goal is, how we're going to help get them there, and then 750, and then of course their promotion to certified. Then we're going to shout them out. I don't know if any of you guys have done this before, but I have had several girls super close to promoting to certified. I give them a little shout out on Facebook or on my story, tagging them, letting their friends and family know, hey, we have a launch party going on for my girl, Sarah. She's about $100 away from being certified. If you love Scentsy, make sure you hit her up. Here's her link, post her link. That has helped so many of my girls promote to certified, just to push them over the edge. And it gets them and their friends and family super excited for them. And once they hit that promotion, y'all, we are going to praise them and let them know how big of a deal that is, because how many essential consultants do we know just come in and don't do anything with their business? A lot. So praise them, let them know that they're getting a lifetime pay raise, and that we don't want to leave any money on the table. Now, I really to get them started with joining. I don't want them to be on the table. Explain that to them. Hey, this is where we're at. This is where you may want to be, because sis, you're going to get 5% more if we can get you there, and we don't want to leave any on the table. Okay. Why are we leaving money on the table? Let's not do to make all the money, right? So we're going to have them do that. And then we're going to tell them, and Chloe touched on this as well. Also heard of a consultant is sponsoring people by the two, telling them to get a friend or family member, because it is much fun. We have someone else to do it with other, but educate them on the importance of doing it with a friend and being a leader and showing the friend the way, so that way they can do this and grow together and help each other reach their goals. So I wouldn't even ask them, do you want to grow a team or anything like that? Because again, that can be super scary. Just say, would you want to do this with a friend so you guys can do this together and you guys can build your businesses together? So talk to them about leadership early on. Don't just count them out and determine that they don't want to do anything past certified. And they have one join conversation a day. You have 6 to 5 months to help get them certified and then promoted to lead. You'll earn the freaking trip. You'll earn the trip. And speak that this is going to change your life. Okay. Love you guys.
Perfect. All right, let's bring up next. We're going to do Jen Brandt. I'm going to pull you up. There she is.
Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Okay, so I was planning on going last, even though I didn't tell you. That's totally fine. I'm going to talk to you guys about mindset, because that has been a huge thing for me this past year. Those of you that follow me or know a little bit about me, I've gone through ups and downs this whole year. I'm either present or I haven't been present. And I think that's really important for you guys to get a little insight on my life a little bit, to know that you can do it. And it truly is all about mindset. Before this past year, when I say past year, I'm going to start like right before Christmas until recently, but I have hit every single incentive. I've earned it. I have earned every single top tier trip that they have had since I joined. I have hit every annual sales, annual mentor until this past year. And it's because um, I let life get me. I know a lot of us stop ourselves. A lot of us will get in our own heads and we have no motivation. We say we can't do something because I don't have a babysitter, or I can't, I'm not as good as this person, this and that. I literally got all in my head. I, went through a divorce, or was going through a divorce, and then the divorce ended up stopping because my ex-husband to be ended up passing away. In the meantime, I ended up being homeless and was staying in a condo. Like, my life literally has been chaos. But I wanted you guys to know that things happen, life happens, and here I am still here training with you guys. I think my word now, like, I'm proof that you can get right back into the game. But I gave up. I didn't have a plan. I just had no motivation, and I slowly slipped with working with my team. To my team, I'm so sorry, but good news is I'm back, and I'm ready. I have my game face on. I'm ready to do all the things, and I've got a plan in place, and I'm going to talk to you about my plan. My PRV slipped. You guys know that I've always was a top PRVer. I always got anywhere from, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10,000 a month. And my PRV, I mean, I still pulled annual sales, and I still pulled my 2,000, some, 500. But the thing is I let life get the best of me. And I'm here to show you that it's all in your mindset and that you can fix that, because I have literally taken a step back, and I'm ready to kick this and bounce back. The beauty with Scentsy is that you can start over every single month. Every single one of us start at zero. So we can each and every month pick up your kit, get your mindset on, make a plan, motivate yourself, reach your goals. I'm a goal oriented. I make goals. I have a whiteboard that I write my goals on. But you need to make a plan in order to earn this incentive, and you will. You can't accidentally earn these incentives. And that's one thing that I want you guys to remember. You can't accidentally, you have to be motivated. You have to put effort into it. You have to make a plan, because it's not going to happen. And just remember, as soon as I found out about these trips, I earned it. Like, I was earning every single one. When I like Bora Bora, I'm going to tell you, I wanted to go to that so bad, but I let life get to me. Like, I should have been more motivated, and I am now. Because is everything back to normal? No, I'm still working and ironing through life, but I will make sure that I earn the top level, so that way I can go on this trip. All right, the plan. This is what I do. Like Coco just said, is recruit. Recruiting is the number one thing that you need to do in order to get those points. You need to work with them. You need to be having parties. You need to be talking about recruiting. You need to be flipping parties. You need to be doing all the things to recruit, to sponsor. The more that you have, the better chance that you're going to have in earning the incentive. Because sometimes, and do it heavy at the beginning of it. I'm not saying don't do it at the end, because people are fast at getting to certified at the end as well, but you're giving them just sell almost $1,000 to get certified. And a lot of times, if you recruit very heavy at the very beginning, and by you helping them and shouting them out and nagging them, like she had said about so and so close, or so and so's 300 away from certified, eventually it will happen. So that is one little tidbits that I have for you. I also keep an eyeball on my front line. And I like to comb through every single one of them and see exactly where they stand. How close are they to getting certified? How close are they? How many team members do they have? I have a whiteboard in my office. It still has everything for Bora Bora on there, but I'm about to wipe it off and start over. But I have, I'll put a list of all the people that close, or write down their numbers that they have to get certified. I like to pay attention to where they're at. People, I am going to help them. I want to know how many they have under 10 to hit lead, because regardless if where or not, when they promote, you also get points, and that's a lot of times the heavy play. So I write down potential points and where they stand, so I can remember, and then as it updates, I will update my board. I also reach out to them, my frontline, and ask them how I can help them meet their goals. Like, what is their goals? Do they want to become certified? And I work with them, because when you're helping them reach their goals, in return, they're going to be helping you reach yours. And striving for high PRV, that is really so important. You just need to make sure that you do not keep a cap. You got to set that bar high. There's no reason for you to say, oh, I'm going to sell 2,500. That's annual sales, and that's it for me, and I'm going to save the rest for the next month. One thing that was told to me a while ago, because I used to do this, was I used to save orders for the next month. Once I reached 2,500, I used to save it and hold it for the next month, so I could make sure that I hit it next month. The thing is, you're going to push yourself harder that next month anyways. Put the PRV in there. Don't sit on any orders like that. Put it in, because you're going to work just as hard next month. Not only are you going to hit your goal, you're going to probably hit harder. Don't set your bar low. You are better than that. You are worth more than that. You can do it. Set that bar high. You would be surprised if you really put your mind into it, of how you can reach your goals. But you have to stay motivated. You have to do the work. You have to show up for yourself, because if you don't, you're going to be like me, and you're going to dwindle down, and till where you have to start all over. And and go from there. But you know what? I'm doing my thing. I have good sales this month. I actually have recruited this month. I have people that's going to join next month, is because my head's back in it. The mindset is there. I just need, I needed that motivation. And that's all I have.
So good. I'm so proud of you. Lee's clapping for you over here. Okay. That was amazing. Love you, Jen. All right, now I'm going to put Serena up here and let me unmute you, ma'am. There we go.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so if you don't know me, I am Serena. I've been with Scentsy for 3 years, and I have earned every single incentive since joining. I'm going to talk to you guys about high PRV. Chloe asked me to speak on this, and that is something that I'm really big on. I love getting high PRV every single month. And how do I do that? I book the dang parties. I am very, very big on parties, minimum for a month. And I know I probably just scared a bunch of you guys, but I don't stop until I have at least 8 a month. I don't stop asking. I open my mouth and I just ask everybody. I sat down right after SFR for an entire week, and I have already booked up the entire month of August, the entire month of September, and I've already got half of October booked. Can y'all please go right? My family's watching me. Yay. So what I want to say about parties is you can do any type of party. I do a lot of online parties, and that's just because a lot of my friends live all over the world, and that's just what works for them. But I have also booked home parties. I have stepped out of my comfort zone and asked to do home parties. I'm getting bag parties ready. And I have a couple of people that I have met from church recently that I put together just bag party things that they are taking to their work with them, and they're sharing it with their friends and family. And they're also that don't live here local to us, shopping us all over the world, but also people that they're working that are local to us. So party, you can call up a friend and say, hey, do you want to have coffee? How about invite some of your friends, and let me share some of my Scentsy testers with you guys. Let me bring some catalogs, and let's just have a girls' day and let's sniff some amazing scents. So you've got to think outside of the box when it comes to this time of year. We're really wanting to like knock it out of the park. I want like 4K plus every single month for this incentive. So I am opening my mouth and I am asking every single person I can think of to book a party. Parties are a must have. That is how you're going to grow your network. That is how you're going to reach people that you would not have reached. If Sally did not say yes to my party, I would have not reached all 20 of her other friends. And also with this, you need to make sure in your parties that you're making every single person inside the party feel special. Reach out to them, introduce yourself through a message, a text message, phone call, whatever it takes, but make sure that they feel special as well, not just the hostess. This is going to ensure that the people that are inside the party, one, they're more than likely going to place an order. Two, when you're asking and following up with them, they're going to book a party from you. So this is how I get a lot of my parties booked, is by hosting parties for my friends and family and getting their people inside of the parties to trust me, to understand who I am. They're connecting with me because I'm how their day is going. I'm following up with them, and then they are connecting with me. And once they've placed their order, I'm asking them, hey, have you ever thought about doing a Scentsy? Most of my months is I'm booking parties while having other parties going on, because I'm building that connection and I'm building that trust inside of the parties that I have going on. I want you to do whatever it takes this fall. Starting August 1st, I have 8 to 10 parties for August. I just started 4 or 5. I just got 5 parties that's starting first. They're all online right now. I'm super excited about those, but I want you to not be afraid, and I want us all to stop letting fear hold us back from opening our mouths and just asking. If you knew how many messages I have sent out since SFR and how many no's I got, if I let the no get in the way, I would have gave up a long time ago. So do not let fear and no's hold you back, because no's are just going to get you that much closer to a yes, and eventually someone's going to say yes. Okay. I highly recommend you front loading your calendar, just like Coco said, just like Jen said. Front loading your calendar with booking the parties is also going to get you to recruiting quicker. And when you recruit quicker, you're setting yourself up for success, allowing them to get to certified and lead and above. Reach out. This is some things that I do. Reach out to local businesses and ask them if you can come by and drop off your business cards, a catalog. And then once you get to know that person, I have a couple people here that own some antique stores. Once you get to know them, ask them if you can bring by a warmer and some wax for their shop. Ask your hairdresser, which is one of my best customers here. Ask them if you can bring a warmer and maybe a room spray for the bathroom, and just leave it at their shop. And then come by, once or twice a month and replenish the wax. Because when people walk into those spaces, into those businesses, and they're getting their hair done, you know what they're asking? Oh my gosh, what is that scent? What is that? They're going to be talking about you, and they're going to be referring you to the people that they have coming in. So this is going to bring me to my referral program. This is something that I do for my customers in my VIP group. My referral program, let your customers know that they can refer you. Let your customers know when they get a package in the mail from you to take a picture of that and post it on Facebook and tag you in it. Because when people see someone opening up a package and it's Scentsy and they're smelling all this stuff and they're super excited about it and they're tagging you in it, people want what other people have. So when my customers are doing this, this is how I grow my customer base. I've had a lot of people message me, oh my gosh, I saw my friend Holly. She just opened up a Scentsy package that she ordered from you, and I need to know how I can get my hands on the pineapple warmer or whatever it may be. So be talking about your referral program. Talk about it in your stories. Talk about it when you go live. Talk about, hey, if you purchase from me, make sure when you get that package in the mail that you take a picture of it and tag me in it. I want my other friends and family to be excited, and I want them to see what you got in the mail. Be consistent. You have to show up every single day, Monday through Friday. Weekends are negotiable because that's family time. But I'm going to tell you, if you're not consistent, you cannot expect your customers and the people that are buying from you to continue to want to support you if they're not seeing you going live, if they're not seeing you showing up and talking about the products. If you're only showing up once every 6 months, they're not going to take you serious. They're not going to want to book a party. They're not going to want to support you because they don't know if you really are enjoying the products that you're selling. So make sure that you're being consistent and showing up daily. Scentsy Club. This is something that I am getting back to, because when I first joined Scentsy, this was something that I was gung-ho about. I was making sure every single customer I came in contact with knew Scentsy Club. They knew all the ins and out about Scentsy Club. They knew the perks. And can I tell you why Scentsy Club is so important? Because Scentsy Club is the reason that I have high PRV. That is PRV every single month that I know I'm getting, that I don't have to work super, super hard for. That is PRV that I know that, hey, I have 20 people this month, their Scentsy Club's coming out, and I can calculate that in, and I know how much PRV I'm getting off of that Scentsy Club, and then how much more that I want to go after. So share about Scentsy Club. If you don't know about Scentsy Club, you need to go read up on it. There, I have all kinds of info on it. I have pictures, private message me, I'll send it to you guys. But you need to be sharing about Scentsy Club. You need to offer it to every single person that ever places an order from you. You need to share it in your parties. You need to talk about it every time you're live. You need to share it in your stories. But this is something that I am really digging deep in this fall and winter and getting back to from now on, because I want to build up my clubbers. And because once my customer turns into a Scentsy clubber, after 3 months of being a clubber, I start really having that joint conversation. And those are people that I'm keeping my eyes on. And I'm like, girl, you know, you could be getting paid off of this and your Scentsy club would be underneath you. Like, you just need to be a part of my team already. So Scentsy Club is huge for me. Reward your loyal customers. Make your loyal customers feel special, however that looks for you. You don't have to send out every single person something in the mail that's going to cost you $1. I'm saying reward customers. I send you, but by sharing thank you, by sending a text message and saying thank you, can I tell you right now, that is why I chose Chloe to join under? Because she took care of me. She always said thank you. She made me feel special. She went out of her way to do that. And I make sure that I do that with my customers and inside of the parties. When I see like people are commenting and liking and doing certain things, I'm private messaging them and thanking them for doing those things. So make your people feel special, because when you make them feel special, they're going to want to come back and they're going to choose you instead of Sally that may live next door or Sally that goes to church with them, that they didn't even realize sold Scentsy, or maybe that they did, but they never really talked about it. They're going to choose you over that person because you went out of your way and made them feel special. Hold on. Also, listen to your customers, y'all. Listen to what their needs and wants are and what products maybe they haven't tried that's going to help them with the cat litter box smell or the trash in the bathroom, or maybe they have some teenage daughters or sons and they're like trying to get rid of that BO in their bedroom. Listen and watch their posts and message them and talk to them about certain products that you know that can help with the problems that they have going on. And then last but not least, I wanted to share, make sure you guys are pulling your reports. Pull your reports, print out your customers. What I do that have ordered in the past from you, I am going back to, I'm pulling people that ordered a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, and I am going through and seeing like, who are the customers that ordered a year ago that are still with me today, 6 months and 3 months that are still with me today, pulling those up, finding out all the things that they have ordered, seeing the scents that they love, seeing the fall and winter that they ordered last year, the scents that they fell in love with last year, looking through the catalog, seeing that those scents are back. And those are the people that I'm going to be following up with this entire fall and winter. And I'm going to be like, girl, your favorite winterberry apple tea is back. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Yes, I know you had it in club, but it's back. So now you can order a 6-pack of that. It's coming back. So pulling reports, being intentional, making your customers feel special, book the dang parties, open your mouth. If you're not opening your mouth, I'm going to do it. So you got to open your mouth, be consistent and show up and just be happy and be excited and talk about Scentsy Club. I think that's all I have. I love you guys. I hope that I spoke to some of you guys tonight. And if anybody needs any information on how I book parties, what I do, what that looks like, please feel free to message me. I would love to help you guys with any of this information. And we're better together. Love you guys.
So good. I will say too, Serena, I'm gonna go ahead and pull Amber up, but somebody did ask if you have a mock party. So if you have a link or you have one, drop it in the chat. And also,
Okay.
you guys, if any of y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and pull you up, Amber. Love you, Serena. If any of y'all have, by the way, links, canvas, any of that, I see a lot of you guys saying, well, I have this flyer, I have this. please share that in the chat because this needs to be a super collaborative space where we can drop canvas, we can drop stuff in live time. So just remember that if you have something to give, there's 92 of y'all on here. This call, I'm not being ugly, but this call is about all of us. So if you have something, that's kind of my pet peeve is when somebody has something and they just kind of hold on to it, share it. Because I know every speaker we have tonight, if there's anything going off in their brain right now, they'll probably drop it in the comments. So if you guys have something right now that you can share, please drop that because our people need tools, they need tips, they need all things. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and unmute my girl, Amber.
Hello? Can you guys hear me? Yes, perfect. Okay. So, super nervous. Just gonna say that, so I'm probably gonna stutter a lot, but it's okay. So I am gonna talk to you guys tonight a little bit about like your mindset after earning a trip, but more specifically what I did to earn the last here we go. The last 3 trips that I've earned. So first of all, we don't know what the points are right now, but we'll probably know like maybe tomorrow, but probably on the 1st. And so whenever you like go into your incentive tracker and you look at the points, is there anybody in here that looks at the points and they're like, no, that couldn't be me. Like I could never do that. You immediately write it off. Like it's impossible for me. Yeah. So like I did the same thing too. And because to me, of points that somebody like me couldn't do, right? So one of the biggest ways that I have earned these incentive trips was I made a plan. If you do not make a plan for this trip, you will not earn it. And so what do I mean by making a plan? So what I mean by that is we have so many amazing people in here that are great at Canva, not me, just going to say that now. So I will be stealing somebody's tracker. But there are so many amazing people on this Zoom and in all of these group pages that you're in that make trackers for, and they break it down by each month for you. So let's just say, for example, you need 30,000 points to hit whatever level that you want. First and foremost, you need to decide what level you want, not what you're going to settle for. You need to look at the tracker and you need to say, this is what I want and this is what I'm making this plan for. And what you need to do is for each month, you need to figure out how many people you need to recruit. I always try to recruit so heavy in the beginning because those are the hardest points to get. And so those sponsoring points, I always try to get those first and foremost because honestly, when it comes to the sales, my customers are going to pull through for me every single time. So I always focus on recruiting very heavily, making sure I know how many of those sponsoring points I need each month so that I know, okay, by November, I'm going to have level whatever in sponsoring points that I need. And also, with parties, I know that you've heard it said 1,000 times tonight that parties are not dead. If you are not partying, your business is not growing. Simply put, there's no way that you can run a business on social media just by making posts. But I tell my team, posting and praying is not going to get you this incentive trip. You have to work your business. And so you have to make sure that you are partying. I'm going to be honest, 1 to 2 parties a month is not going to cut it. And if I'm being really, really honest, 3 to 4 parties a month is not going to cut it either. If you want to earn this trip, you're going to have to set your party goals very, very high. I will tell you that parties are going to solve literally all of your problems. Your recruiting problems you're having, you need to go have a party. If you're having a problem getting sales, you need to go have parties. Point blank, period. And I will tell you that I absolutely hated doing parties in the beginning. And that's why I never earned any of the other incentives because I never partied. I just posted on Facebook and hoped people would order by what I posted. That didn't cut it. So, that was one of the biggest things. But the second thing is, so make sure you're making a plan. Backtrack. If you don't have this 6-month plan that I'm pretty sure Beth is the one that trained on this maybe like a month or 2 ago. your 6-month plan that you made whenever she talked about it, that's going to help you come up with your incentive track, like your incentive plan as well. But the second thing is you need accountability when it comes to earning trips. And I don't hear a lot of people talk about accountability, but I'm going to be honest with you. If I did not have Chloe and Jan and Serena and Courtney as accountability, there is no way I would have earned it. I had just had a baby last year in August. So, like at incentive period, I just had a baby. And if it were not for those 4 ladies like pushing me to earn Hawaii, there's no way that I would have earned it. I've wanted to quit 70 times just in the incentive period because life is life. But you have got to have accountability when you are doing this. And I mean like true accountability, people that you can be like, you know, hey, just want to let you know, like tomorrow my points are going to update by 20. Like literally, that's how annoying I was. But I needed that, and I needed them to hear me say, like, I'm working, this is what I'm doing. But accountability is so, so important. And I know that sounds cliche and silly, but really, truly finding someone and surrounding yourself with people who have earned trips so that they can help you in areas that you are weak in. They can help you with that. So, also in the hustle and bustle of all of like the trip, don't forget, please take care of yourself mentally. It's super important that you are taking care of yourself because it's very easy to get burned out while you're trying to earn a trip, or really just when you're working your business in general. It's very easy to get burned out. But I will say, this is the last thing, is once you earn an incentive trip, it gives you a bigger confidence in yourself and in your business. So I took the payout for Alaska. That was the first trip that I had ever earned. And so I appreciated my business, but like until I actually went to Mexico last year, that was the first trip I actually went to. And I was by myself, and I was 34 weeks pregnant, and I went. But when I was there, that's when I realized, like, okay, this is legit, and Scentsy is legit for me. This is home for me. And moving forward, I didn't just work my business during an incentive period. I worked my business all year, like all year was an incentive period. And so that's how it changed my mindset after earning the trip. And so I'm super excited for this trip. I know I have a couple of girls on my team that are already working so hard to get ready to get rolling for this. And I can't wait to celebrate with all of you in Greece.
Okay, did I unmute myself? That was fantastic. There's no way that you guys didn't get anything from all of them, because I just feel like they all work very differently, and I know this because I'm friends with all of them, but they're all wildly successful. So we're gonna end this with an extra guest speaker. Come here. I'm gonna have my dad sit down with you for the next 10 minutes. So like 9:12 be done, okay? I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And he's gonna share with you guys on how he leads and how he's always retained the people he leads. I've watched him do it for a long time. I want to say this, like I have visibly like walked in and been in these places that he managed, and I saw the way that his team would talk to him. I watched the way he would talk to his team, and there is something special about being able to learn from somebody like him. And I think he'll be able to give you guys just some tips, especially when I know a lot of you guys have coached a lot of y'all, like y'all have had difficult team members. Y'all have been through a lot of hard times. And so I want to have him give you guys some life really quick on how you can build your team culture. All right, he has notes, you guys, look.
I got notes. I get
Great.
sidetracked a lot. So real quick, I'm Chloe's dad. Basically, I started selling kind of by happenstance. I went into a company and I started delivering water beds the first year, and this is back in '84.
Water beds. I
Water
never
beds.
even knew that.
I delivered them. I made $580 a month. I brought home $461, and I said, "There's got to be something better than this." So the next year I went into sales. When I went into sales, I then made $34,000 a year, and I never looked back. Sales is the only job that your direct amount of efforts in proportion to your pay. If you work hard, you most certainly will get compensated. The key to all of it is you got to have a goal set. I was fortunate in 1987 with the company that I was a corporate high salesman of the year. We had over 400 salespeople. I was fairly young, but I set a goal. My goal was $1 million, which seemed really lofty. So the first thing I did was I broke it down into days. I broke it down into weeks. I broke it down into months. I mean, everything was down to a science. My goal was 86,500 a month. And you multiply that times 12, it'll put me a little over $1 million, which was $1,038,000. First time in my company, any salesperson had ever done that. My whole goal was to be the first. After that, I never looked back. Sales gave me all the opportunity to be able to raise my family, take care of them, and I controlled my own pace. What I learned early on was most salespeople tend to work more reactive than proactive. And the term I use is working on your toes instead of your heels. I always like to try to have the answer before I get in the situation. Obviously, I don't know every answer, but being prepared for the question was always something that I wanted to be available for. So working off your toes instead of your heels is definitely a good motto to use. And a guy told me something when I was young. He said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're always 100% right. Whether you think you can do it or think you can't do it, you're going to be right. When I went into management at the age of 23, I was fairly young in directing people. I didn't have a whole lot of leadership mentors initially. So the president of my company kind of took me under his wing because I was pretty scared. I knew I could sell, but being able to sell is one thing. Being able to teach leaders to sell was a whole nother transfer that I really wasn't equipped for. So what he did to me was anytime I had a problem, I would go directly to him and he would give me the answer. So after about the 5th time of me going up to him, he says, okay, you gave me the scenario. You've given me 2 workable solutions. What I didn't realize was he was promoting me to become an independent thinker. And I think in all leadership, you have to promote everybody to take the reins depending on who's in front that day. So I wanted to make sure I was surrounded by independent thinkers, because where business can be really cumbersome is when you're always having to answer questions and you're always having to be the problem solver. There's nothing wrong with being the problem solver because that's what your skill set is, but true leaderships promote problem solvers within their company. Anybody who leads for the day is the leader of the day. And sometimes in leadership, it gets lost a little bit because when I was managing, I wasn't always just a manager. I was an active salesperson as well. And by doing so, whether it was changing tires, whether it was talking to customers, handling complaints, looking at orders, I was always available for that task. And what I found was most people will follow a leader if they're willing to lead by example. You can want people to do things, you can wish for them to do all things, but it's hard for them to tell you no when they watch you do it yourself. So if there's one thing I can tell you guys from a leadership standpoint, lead by example. Set the example. If you want to be successful, your bar has to be set at a high standard that you expect everybody to follow. Now, what I've told Chloe, and I say this all the time, true leadership isn't looking down on people. It's not looking up at people. It's bringing people to the level you want them to be. So for me, it's a real simple task. Anybody that I was ever training, I never worried about titles. If I was going to get the accolades for it, I was always wanting to promote leaders because someday they're going to be the next generation that carries the torch, and leaving a legacy is really what I'm about. Couple things that I'll go over real quick, and I briefly talked about this in Chloe's last SFR, which I love to be able to do that. There's 4 different groups of people that are out there in all the sales world. What makes true salespeople true salespeople is you have to work in the window you're most uncomfortable. So there's rulers, loyalists, entertainers, and analysts. So when you walk into a room and you go to talk to somebody, if you can read the room correctly, you have to be a chameleon that moves into that window. I work in all 4 windows all the time. I'm in property management now, so I identify who I'm working with, which allows me a really good chance of getting resolution. Same thing with sales. If I work into a room and the person's an analyst, the last thing I want to do is talk about how flashy everything is. I need to work into that window, which allows me to be able to communicate to them, because once you get that communication, what the goal is with all these groups is to turn them into loyalists, which are going to be your clubbers, people that are going to buy all the time. They're going to want the same stuff from you. And they're going to say, okay, Chloe, tell me what you got out there that you think I'll like. That's music to my ears. Whenever you're talking to people, and I know I'm touching on a lot of subjects, and we can always go deeper into this, but the first thing I do in any conversation with anybody I talk to is I ask their permission. So asking permission is basically asking, did I catch you at a bad time? It's always important to get an interactive listening when you're talking to somebody, because if they're catching the notes of what you're saying, your success will be greater. Allow yourself the ability to ask the permission. If I didn't catch you at a good time, the next thing I'm going to do, being a salesperson and being how I'm built, okay, would it work better for me to talk to you at 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock? And I'm going to grid block that time. Because by doing so, once you get that time grid blocked, then you have an active audience. A lot of times when you're trying to promote your product or trying to move your product, sometimes you get so caught up in the details that you don't have the ear. And at that point, you either turn them completely off or you end up losing the opportunity for the sale. So I tell you all the time, and I ask every time, and you hear me, Chloe hears me say it, if I'm talking to somebody, did I catch you at a bad time? No, it's a great time. Great. Because you've got about a 5-minute delivery to try to get your process apart. Once you get that moving forward, then it allows you to have the doorway to be able to share what you feel is important. Because again, that's that window of opportunity. Let me see.
Will you repeat the 4 things somebody asked, the 4 types of people or whatever you
Yeah,
said?
the 4 types of people are going to be the rulers, and I'll explain definition. A ruler is somebody that says, give it to me now. I don't have time for details. The analyst is someone that's going to ask you for details and specifics. The entertainer's going to be somebody that cares about the flash. They want the latest and greatest. And the loyalist is the one we all want to transfer to. All these quadrants you want to build to loyalists, because once you get them into that group, everything else just kind of takes care of itself. So my goal is always to convert the 3 quadrants into the one quadrant that's going to be most beneficial for me, and just allows me to have the ability to continue to get repetitive sales and also repetitive customers. You want to keep the people that you got, you want to grow to the new ones, but never forget about the ones that bring you to the dance. Always remember the ones that are your VIPs, the ones that you definitely want to keep in your pocket. Now, I'll tell you how you keep those people. Birthdays, anniversaries, special events, things like that. I worked with a salesman that never got out of his chair to ever talk to a customer, ever. But what he did do was he sat all day and he wrote birthday cards. He wrote anniversary cards. He knew when his customers had issues, when they had family problems. I know it sounds like a lot of ownership, but by doing so, and once you allow yourself to get into the window of understanding what's important to them, that's when you convert them to a loyalist. People would just bring him, hey, this is Jim. He wants to buy a car. I told him all about you. The hard work's already been done because you've laid the foundation for the person that's going to be the person that will bring you the next one. Sales are great because you can get that big sale and you feel really good, and it's great because the number's great. But what you want to do to build a business is you want to take that customer and have them build another one and build another one. So birthdays, anniversaries, things like that are important, just milestones in their life. It can be, their father's 80th birthday, which I got a little ways to go, but I'm going to get there. Let's see. There's 4 steps that I want to share with you guys, and this is my getting into my mind to Mike a little bit, but basically, there's 4 P's that I use in every situation I ever deal with. I have to process the situation. I pause, then I plan, and then I protect. So I'm going to process what's happening to me. I'm going to pause and usually go with my second answer because the first one's typically emotional. You're mad. That's first and foremost. Usually your second response is always the better one. Definitely take the time to pause, and however long you need to do it. If it takes an hour, 2 hours, 30 minutes, just to get to that point that you can get a good action plan together and then protect the things that you care about, your customers, your clients, your business practices. Consistency is always the key in any business, because I had a guy that I worked with in the service department, and every time somebody came in and they asked how he was doing, which was a very genuine question, the first thing he said was, my back hurts, my leg hurts, my knee hurts. Finally had to talk to them. I said, look, what you got to understand is they don't come in to take ownership of your problems. They come in to relieve you of theirs. So in sales, you got to remember that whenever you're talking with somebody, You got to find out exactly what's going to work for them without them taking ownership in your issue. Every time somebody talked to me, I got 2 terms in my language. How you doing today? I'm either good or I'm great.
Oh, I love that.
They're either good or I'm great. I never say I'm having a bad day. I never say that it's just terrible, because all of a sudden people, then the guy, what he did was he thought that they would buy from him because they felt
Sympathy.
guilty. I never wanted people to buy from me because they felt guilty. I wanted them always to buy from me because at the end of the day, I wanted them to feel that what they made was a good decision based on all the facts. But most importantly, there was no remorse, no regret, nothing like that. Let's see. What else do I want to say? I don't know.
So if you could give them your top tip, a lot of these people struggle with leadership, honestly. What
Right.
would be your top tip to give them on how to build a loyal team?
Okay. Well, it'll probably go back to what I was talking about with promoting independent thinkers. What you want is, Chloe sits here and she's done the Circle of Excellence. I couldn't have been prouder. It was one of the proudest moments of my life watching her walk across that stage. I mean, I can't even remember the time zone. I was just in a different place. But when I went to that convention, one thing that really struck out to me was the lady that did the motivational speaking. She's the lady that swam from Cuba to Key West.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what she said was about 2 miles into the end of her journey. And I mean, it'd been a tumultuous thing. I mean, she had everything from sharks. And I'm listening to this lady and she stopped and she said, the last 2 miles I stopped, I circled around everybody. I gathered everybody in, the people that were swimming with me, the people that were feeding me, everything. And she said, I'm getting ready to land on this shore. And when I land on this shore, all the cameras and all eyes are going to be on me and they're going to think I did the greatest thing in the world. But she said, I want you to know that this is a team thing. I couldn't have got here without you. I'm not going to sit here and take claim for all of it to myself. So it kind of resonated to me. And Chloe and I talked about that a little bit. And it's one of those things that true leaders don't ever look at all the great accolades they did. True leaders promote, bring people up with them, and most importantly, share the goal of everybody having a better life. And that's really what it's all about. I mean, when I was a service manager at Volkswagen, you'd see me moving cars around. If you were there, I'd be in the back cleaning the shop floor.
Always.
I'd go and get parts. I'd drive customers where they needed to go. And it was just a way to lead by example. I mean, that's just how it was built. But the thing about it, I had the respect of everybody that I worked with pretty much, at least I believe I did. And for the most part, you know, I hopefully taught all them to be leaders, because at the end of the day, you know, your legacy is going to be built on the team that you build, but most importantly, being able to let those people succeed. You know, we talk about goals all the time. You know, when I set my goals for my corporate high salesman, I had daily goals. My daily goals were real simple. I never qualified anybody. I never looked at anybody as they weren't a potential customer. I treat them all equally. And by doing so, you know, I'd bring stuff up to the counter and guys were like, how did you do that? And I said, well, how did I do what? And they said, well, how'd you get that guy to buy? I learned a long time ago, in sales are going to be people that are just going to buy because they're loyalist. I never really wanted those. I mean, I was glad to get them, don't get me wrong. But the ones I wanted were the ones that really needed to be convinced on exactly what the benefit and the features and advantages of what I was doing for them was. Those were my most victorious ones. I learned way more in failure than I ever did in success. So I'll leave you guys with this right here. One of my favorite quotes in the whole world, and it's from Henry Ford. And it says, failure is the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. If you allow yourself the opportunity to start back over again and learn from where you may have maybe not done it the way you wanted to. And that's the beauty about sales. You know, I told Chloe about Admiral McRaven, Make My Bed. It's one of my favorite speeches in the world. 2014 commencement at the University of Texas. He was a Navy SEAL. He almost got killed on a static jump line, just about ripped his body in half. But what he did was he said, if you make your bed at the very front of the day, the very first task you do is making that bed. No matter what happens to you, no matter what you go through in the day, no whatever challenges you have, you come back to a made bed. It's the opportunity to begin again the next day. So that's the thing about sales. You're going to get objections. You're going to get all the time. You're going to have things that are going to come your way. It's going to plenty of detours in the road of life. Stop signs, speed limits, detours. Allow yourself the grace to be able to start over every day and start over every day with the idea that it's a better tomorrow. So.
Will you repeat the Henry Ford quote one more time? Somebody asked.
Sure. Failure is the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. And that's in reference to the assembly line. And if he would have stopped when it didn't work, we wouldn't have the cars we drive today. So
And you love cars.
I love all of it.
That
man.
was great.
Okay.
Thanks, Dad. You're
Bye,
the
guys.
best. Okay, you guys. So y'all got that one for free at the end. But I hope everything was helpful. I really appreciate you guys being on. Truly like so much gold tonight. And what I want you guys to really leave with is making a plan as soon as possible. You don't need incentive points to make a plan. I want the incentive points to finalize your plan. So go ahead and start writing. How many parties are you going to have? How are heavy recruiting? How much did they talk about that tonight? I'm so glad they did. How many are you going to recruit in August? Before this call, my goal was 4. After this call, my goal is 6. And so I really want you guys getting a plan together now. Don't wait until tomorrow. Next week is going to turn into next year. Make a plan and then find accountability and start executing that plan. Anybody can earn an incentive, but you have to make the decision that you are going to go all in and you're going to be ready for the no's and you're going to be ready to work hard. Because at the end of the day, like this is hard work, but it's so fulfilling because you're changing people's lives, whether it be the customer or whether it be the person on your team. That's what you step into. And I'm so glad my dad said that because we're in the business of giving an experience of a lifetime. Fragrance is a sensory experience. It gives memories. It gives all these things. And so step into that. Highly recommend that you listen to Courtney Reyes's soundbite as well after this call tonight. So you can write down notes on how even deeper she earns her incentive and what she does with that. And you know, we're going to go out and we're going to get it. I'm about to make my plan right after this call with the girl sitting in front of me. And, you know, that's the difference. Are you going to get off this call and roll over and go to bed, or are you going to stay up and make the plan? That's the difference. The difference is, are you going to stay up and package orders that night and get parties ready and make samples when your baby is asleep? Or are you going to go, you're tired? You know what I used to be tired of? Working 12-hour shifts and being treated like shit. That's what I was tired of. I was tired of missing everything with my son. I was tired of working all the time. That's what I was tired of. And so I would stay up until 2, 3 a.m. and Lee knows this. And then I would wake up for a 12-hour shift with a smile on my face and a bag party to get out. I did this for 4.5 years until I could retire. So what are your non-negotiables going to be? What are they going to be? Because I think you guys see a lot of successful leaders in Scentsy, but you don't know what we've done to get here. And the thing about it is yes, it's worth it, but you have to be the one to get off this call and make a plan instead of going, I'll do it tomorrow, because tomorrow's a disease. Tomorrow will never happen. Okay. So we love you. We are so proud of you. I'm so pumped to see all these people earn grease because it's going to be amazing. That was my first incentive trip. And so I can't wait to watch you guys earn it and to see you guys this fall. We're going to do some in-person team meetings every month. And so more to come on that. But now, you know, guys, it's time to get to work.